What is the common way that legal English is thought to be like in Iran? We have so many courses in which so many instructors will appear, and maybe the only, or we can say at least the main thing they're trying to focus on is only on vocabularies and not necessarily the English to English meaning of vocabularies. They're focusing on translation stuff. For example, what does accusation mean? The students have to learn what does accusation mean, but they are not getting as much as precise as you are right now. That you're, for example, taking an example, distinguishing between the fact that a prosecutor cannot accuse and the only thing he or she can do is to charge somebody. I think you're getting and going much deeper than the current and the common method of teaching legal English that is currently employed by so many instructors in Iran, which are not, most of them or many of them, or even we can say all of them are not native speakers. What kind of a methodology do you employ in your class?
Very good question. Methodology. Okay. A very short story. I love to tell stories. I was riding my bike. I love to go biking here in Moscow. And I rode by a school that teaches all kinds of languages, but basically English is still the king for foreign languages here in Moscow. They had a big sign, huge sign, and it says, unique methodology. Mm-hmm. Well, of course, I was interested. So I called them up and I said, well, you talk about your unique methodology. That really interests me. I didn't say I was English. I tried to sound French or something like that. And so what is your methodology? They couldn't answer. Nobody knew what this methodology was, let alone why it was unique. Well, the problem with this methodology is always associated with this learning, not acquiring. Mm-hmm. So I've adopted what I call a very strict methodology, and I call it the no methodology. Okay?
What a methodology.
Everybody learns differently. I had one student who did vocabulary by color. And I can remember just asking her, I don't remember what the actual word or expression was. She says, that looks purple to me. And I said, what? It looks purple to me. Well, why purple? Well, that's how I learn. I learn things by color. So everybody learns things differently. Yeah. And if you say, here's our methodology, you're going to learn it this way, you lose that native idea of how you really acquire things. So instead of methodology, I have method. And I call the method whatever works.
Exactly.